Yeah, the sound works. Awesome. Welcome. You know, fix that quick. Just pretend that I was greeting you all to the video there for 10 seconds. And let's get to it. We're in Act 3. Everything is fine. We got this golden bird. I guess it did not save us drinking the potion. You know, big chunk of health, but barely more than we left normal difficulty with, right? Really, it's just like, you know, we've got some more charms that we stole from other characters. But never forget that our objective is to ignore the Dark Wanderer. Good news is our movement is now at such a place where running isn't that much faster, so we'll be at a walk for basically the rest of the game, probably. For safety. Because paradoxically, you know, running's not safer. Your defense works, but not when you're running. And against flares, you know, and blocking and stuff too. I love Nightmare as the sorceress. That's where every build has its time to shine, right? I would totally get it if someone was like, "Oh, I don't feel like going to hell difficulty. I'm just gonna play Nightmare." You know, Nightmare, Mephisto, and Bale can get you plenty of good stuff, and hell difficulty is a silly place. But we don't have too much to worry about. Our resists are decent, and we have access to much higher numbers pretty soon. We're going to want higher fire resist basically immediately, but we've got 50 on some boots on deck. And then as we, you know, move through the end of Nightmare, hopefully we'll just, like, get some drops that make things better. But if not, we're going to have to, you know, before moving into the hell difficulty, just figure out where we're trying to get our resists from, you know. Because we can't just get rid of cannot be frozen. So just getting 25 off of the shield still leaves us with a pretty big amount we need somewhere else. But we have abstractly lots of options, because I mean, just like with some Ort runes, I mean, we could put 3 Ort runes in a chest piece and get 90 light resist if that's what it comes to, right? But I think resist all is worth more than health, but an individual resist, I mean, it just depends. We have plenty of Ort runes. We've got like 20 flat on a blue ring. Is that good? No, but we could wear it, you know. Our ring, I think we're wearing like a mana ring right now, so it's hardly like we're all at the pinnacle of our potential. There's always the smoke rune word in the body armor, which is Nephilim. I don't know if we even have an extra lum rune, but we could cannibalize it from the other merc. We got a level, which means we're just going to come to town real quick to distribute it. No point in tempting fate. I hate going to menus whenever I am supposed to be acting smart. Because here we're running into that situation where, you know, it's a lot of decks to get over 60. Thing is, 60 is not max block, and max block is pretty important. But I think just staying at the rate for block is probably fine. Probably, and then we can put it into what, like, I mean, more vitality for a while. Because while we could theoretically get more than 95 strength, it's already a lot, and I'm only doing it because, alright, Arachnid Layer is not where to find the piece of Kalim, but we're gonna get another little piece of the spider treasure nonetheless. I just like casting Frozen Orb, you know. And the thing about these spider ones is they don't tend to be dangerous. I mean, beyond the natural danger of playing the game, you know, they don't have, you know, lightning casters or anything, I don't think. And honestly, we could stand to get like a big chunk of levels before we continue on too much further. We're moving at a pretty swift pace. I mean, we've got plenty of levels through normal, and then we just sort of booked it through Nightmare. You know, we could have got probably like 5 levels off of doing tombs. Tombs are really quick levels here. But I figure, as always, just push forward and see what happens. After all, if we really need levels, we can just get to Provincial and run that. Pretty sure we've already got one, but you know, would we wear it? No, definitely not. I'm like, not even on a barbarian would we wear that set, you know, we would wear something else. If we ever make a hardcore barbarian, then, you know, you'll probably see a very human performance. Because unlike with Necro and Sorceress, which I have experience with, and I think are relatively easy to play on hardcore. Relatively. You know. I believe that melee classes are more difficult to play than casters in general. I've always played casters in this game. You know, I don't have like a barbarian background. Plenty of people swear by them, so there must be something to it. And really, the ability to get twice as many hit points seems great. And if we could just get the leech thing under control, then, you know, yeah. Obviously, the sort of character that gets a lot stronger if you have a bunch of gear. So, you know, eventually it would be fun to... So, 3 socket ethereal plate mail. Totally worth holding on to. I mean, it might not be. You know, we don't need that Bardiche in particular. I'm pretty sure we don't need a 3-socket scythe ever. Because this is just base level armor, but it could still, you know... We could probably find something for it. And we could just take the life and cold resist ring over mana. I'm pretty sure, because I mean mana's fine, good even. But life is life. We could just get light resist, but I mean 28 life the whole time. How much lightning damage is there? There can be rather a lot occasionally in Act 4, but it's more of a problem in 5. Or rather, in 3, but it's more of a problem in 4 and 5. Fire damage, definitely more important, but when we get to level 45, we're not going to be worried about that. I mean, for the rest of Nightmare, anyway. Nice. So it's not like amazing, but it is theoretically a better base for an insight. We're gonna go make another one right now, right? Because it has a you know, I'm not sure why. Anyway, it would be better for ethereal, but we can get a better insight, theoretically. This one has, you know, a sort of low aura roll, so we'll just roll another one and see what we can get here. How do we spell it? Realty or Tal Soul. Hey, there we go. It has lower damage at the top end, but also has lower critical strike, but the aura is 3 levels higher, and that makes it totally worth doing. If we find an ethereal one, we'll make one in that too. And plus now there's another insight in case this character dies. Although you shouldn't prepare for failure. You should prepare for success by carrying large numbers of potions. That's what a successful person does. I think this is just the back way in here. We're now entering the merely good marsh. It's time to leave. We have to get our MacGuffin first. Alright. Alright, it's probably this way. Yeah, probably. Of course, unlike all the people in the world that aren't sorceresses, she can actually haul, you know, when she wants to go. She can go. I'm gonna lie and say I can totally see the effects of 4 levels higher on the aura. You know, if there was a cold equivalent to the Blaze feat, it would be even better, right? Low damage, slow in your wake. Little frost witch thing. It would be too good. That's why they don't give it to you. Blaze is fine for like normal. It falls off very heavily later on. Especially because as packs grow in lethality, it becomes dramatically more important that you can deal with them in a few moments, or have a plan for dealing with them, you know, if you're not that swift. But you can't just like think, I'll let them run into fire for an extended period of time, this will be great. Alright, so is there an entrance to a place here that we just didn't note? Like, where is it? To the left here? I mean, no reason it can't be. Yep, it clearly is, because it's the only place left. And we get the eye, and Jarek the Very Burny is here. Of course, our Merc is capped plus has absorbed for lightning, so we're hardly worried about him for lightning enchants, which is real nice, you know. It's real nice to have that level of securita. like, alright, I don't think we have anything we need to wear, right? Probably left at all, you know, until we want to shuffle around resists. Just our alders. We could bring our cold resist charm when we go to the land. Yeah. We'll just wait for the alders, and use them there. Seems fine. Now, do we want to just move through the Great Marsh for the love of the game? Yeah, why not? I'm in no hurry to move out of Nightmare. Nightmare is good. I like Nightmare. And plus, I mean, we need more levels. We don't have any gear, really, that we're targeting to be able to wear. You know, there's just... Oh, well... Actually, I don't want to be here. 'Tis a silly place. Yeah, so it's not that bad. A full volley will do, you know, a good 150 or so. It's fine. I don't want to run away because the place seems sketchy on Nightmare. I mean, you can still die here dead as a doornail, sure. But hey, look at me. I got the Great Marsh waypoint. Like a boss. And these guys can't compete at all with the beauty of the orb. A slow mob gets much slower. Portal Shrine. What do I look like? A charity case? Happy birthday to the ground. then a very quick walkthrough from the Great Marsh to the Flare Jungle. Sometimes that's how it is. Sometimes they're connected more deeply. Sometimes the Great Marsh is entirely off to the side. That's why it's important to be happy about being in Act 3 at all and not be annoyed because you don't know where you are. I'm not annoyed. I'm happy here. Act 3 has nice mob density. They fall down pretty quick to an orb. Got some nice wide open spaces, so even the annoying stuff isn't that bad for most of it. Plenty of room to run away. Flare dungeon, just where we need to be. Goodbin will get us a magic ring, which could even be good for all we know. Totally seemed like that dude teleported on top of me. Never what you want to see. Super crummy, but hey, they can't all be winners. Terrible ring, though. Here... I mean, we'll just go down, grab it, and then telly back up. It won't take too much time to get back to where we are. And we're not trying to teleport, like, aggressively here. There's no telling what could wait behind a door, right? So clearing it out a little bit, much better. It's not too tricky for flayers to stun lock you, potentially, right? We're gonna telly back here, because Dude Man is a little hurt. And then if they have fire breathing, what? Because, like, what if you teleport into a room like that? Like, we killed so many dudes here. Just so many. What if you had teleported into a room like that? Well, you probably get animation locked and popped. Probably. That's so many guys. Love it. Gotta love it. And we have a mesh belt to identify, which is not going to be for us. This is what has, like, mana leech on it. Yeah. But it's a very cool belt. I guess maximum mana and mana regen is theoretically something, but really it's that it's a belt with mana leech. And the vitality. Like, on a barbarian, that would be worth 60 life. So, you know, we'll put it in here. Maybe we would use it on one. 60 life is, after all, a whole lot, and mana leech is pretty important. I would have preferred a string of ears. I probably would have just worn that. That's a decent amount of health, but we've got better ones for health primary, and we've got better ones that also have resists, so... Alright, time to pull out the old... 3 socket Pavis, which, you know, more strength than we want to get. And it won't be too long now, and then we won't be getting stronger orbs, which means, hooray, stronger fireball, but also means, sad, no more stronger orbs. You know, you get to enjoy them through all of Nightmare, basically, and that's enough for anyone. That'll have to be enough for me. totally would prefer to have had another level so that we can get our boot improvement, which is just going to be really nice, you know. Huge resist for fire, life, better run speed by a little bit, just all around an improvement, you know, what's not to like. Like, I don't trust this corridor one bit after all that. I guess every mob from in there pulled in with the earlier one. We're real close to level 45. Which is good, because that, you know, max fire resist, pretty important for as you move further into the act. Not for the flares so much, but like Hydra's firewall, fireball, that is a whole bunch of dudes. Snot Wolf the Jagged. He is, of course, not a wolf. Alright. Now, the item that we took 35 strength points for. Alder's Advance. Woohoo! Just a bunch of good. Taking us up to a little over the fire resist cap. Am I wearing anything that we could swap that's got it on it? I don't think so. These gloves are trash. We need better gloves like yesterday. We could just take 20 magic find gloves. That would be better than 12 because these other things don't matter. Oh, right. No, we need the single strength point to be able to wear the boots. That's pretty funny. We might want to take slightly more strength so that we don't have to do that. Do I have a charm? Charm for strength. I know I do. Yeah, this one's got magic find on it even. No, it's not worth it. Let's just get back to it. I don't think we're going to reroll that belt for a rare. We'll be okay without it. I don't think we need 2 bone weaves. One of them's got 4 sockets, though, so that is better. Oh, we could get the strength point here. Doesn't matter. Alright. What does matter is now we're fire resist capped. And with 60% block, hardly max, but still pretty good. You know, in a much better position for going through all of this. Wrath Razor the Jagged, no, the Hunter. Well, he is no longer any kind of Razor of Wrath. Hey, Neo. They should have Scrag to Diablo. He would fit right in. There's a character called the Butcher, and Scrag would either love that guy or beat him in a knife fight and become him. Long time to go without seeing anyone. Always feels ominous when you're in a flare zone too, because you know that as soon as you do see someone, could be like 5, could be like 50. They don't play around when it comes to flare density. And we are not teleporting down there, as attractive as it is. Because you have to act right. It's hardcore. We teleported there just to get our mercenary on the proper side of the pond. Hey. We're not going to use this shield, but it's nice that it dropped. I mean, we might, though. Moser's is... You know, we have to think about it. Moser's is really good. So what... Moser's has 2 sockets. It's got resist. Importantly, it blocks really quick. We'll just look at the actual raw numbers, you know, by way of comparison. Moser's is a great shield, a great find. So 57 block, fast block rate, you know, 25 resist, and it's got 2 sockets. So you can throw a couple of perfect diamonds in there, you know, and end up with a very respectable shield with a good block rate. The thing is that Rhyme cannot be frozen. But Moser's with 2 diamonds is a much more attractive thing than some shield with 3 diamonds. For one, it's even better than a shield with 3 diamonds, and it's very good at blocking. So we'll probably... I mean, we're going to want to find Cannot Be Frozen somewhere else, and I would love to swap to Moser's. This is a great drop. It's a really great drop. I am very pleased to have gotten it. I should be acting more happy about it, because I actually am pretty pumped. Because honestly, like, as good of a shield as you might expect at this point in the game. Maybe the best shield that's not a rune word for these purposes. And definitely going to have to think about whether or not we're going to use it over Rhyme. Now, I value Cannot Be Frozen really high for a caster that's not a necromancer. You know, you got to be able to move. But it is a huge, huge chunk of resists on a shield that's good at blocking. Unlike, because our perfect diamond shield, you know, that's just like a 28% kite shield. That's not good at blocking. But Moser's, you don't have that issue. It's a very nice shield for that. We'll probably end up wearing it in Hell and just like... I mean, where do we find Cannot Be Frozen? We could try to make one on a helm. Cham's like a high rune. You don't do it with that. You try to get something else that has Cannot Be Frozen on it as a rune word. Alright, we're not going in there. We're going in here this way. I'm like, why did I tell Ian? You know, with Cannot Be Frozen, even if they get you, you can walk away from it. The Winged Nightmare shows up to pick over the battlefield once it's done. Fantasy game accurate vulture. That Moses drop is really good. Yeah, I think we'll definitely have to swap to it for Hell. Because really, we're just losing Cannot Be Frozen for a very desirable blocking quality shield. I mean, it's about as good of something as we could hope for. Obviously, something like a Storm Shield would be better, but like you can't even get a Storm Shield yet, and it's a Monarch anyway. You know, you can hardly rely on trying to get one if you don't already have one. I think I already have some of that. Now, Demon Hide armor, I wouldn't mind seeing a unique of that. No, wait, that's the wrong one. We want Serpent Skin armor. Because if we just swap to a Smoke Runeward armor and then get a Mosers and throw some P Diamonds in it, or get the Mosers we just got and put some P Diamonds in it, that should get us basically all of where we need to be for our Hell Resists, basically. Some Evil Space Marines or some Skaven. Chaos Space Marines, or you like Space Marines that are evil because they're evil? I say, I mean, some Skaven, right? Like, I think Skaven are the coolest and their models are very cool. If I played Fantasy, I hope I would collect some, although I would have to have Dwarves too. I should start collecting old world stuff, because, like, I just think the models are cooler anyway. And I know Old World isn't fantasy exactly, but from playing Total War, I feel like almost as like connected to like fantasy as a property as I do in 40K. Because if I think about it, I mean, like, from playing Total War Warhammer, that's like a huge part, both of like watching like the competitive end of playing it. You know, probably more of my life than 40K is, even though I don't have any. Also, I mean, I have a couple fantasy models, but they're like, I have like a dwarf Rune Lord that's still in the box because I was going to make him in my Inquisitorial Warband, and then I never did. Wanted to collect ogres. They're such a cool faction. But I love the dwarves. But then I think, like, the Empire, though, right? Because, like, I really like demis. I think the Demigryph model is amazing, and like there's just so much character in like the silliness of the Empire. But if I had infinite money and space to put them in, I would definitely have all of the models. And they would all be in boxes, and I wouldn't paint them, because even with infinite money, I would still be very lazy. I know this because anytime I give myself infinite money in a video game, I never work harder after. Now a ton of money, that's different. Like when you make 400 daggers in Skyrim and then enchant them using 400 petty soul gems with petty souls. That really would have been, you know, grand souls, but black souls anyway. They would have come from bandits. Hey-o! It's just raining drops. The Rib Cracker. This is a very funny staff, right? You never use it. No one ever uses it, but it's very funny. So the Rib Cracker has, like, crushing blow and fast attack speed, so it's like... It's a beatdown stick, you know? It does decent damage, but yeah, 50% crushing blow, so you could walk up and hit him with it. But of course the Sorceress has no need for crushing blow. And other people that do will hopefully be able to get it on something that's not that staff. But actually, I mean, like, it's theoretically worth holding on to. Like, what if we, yeah, you know, let's hold on to it. Because actually, you know, I'm remembering playing, like, Shapeshifter Druid, which I theoretically could do again. And I totally used that on my Shapeshifter Druid once. But, you know, we don't have great magic find. We just have, like, a little bit. But the thing about Sorceress is she's so good at killing basically everything on the screen. And she moves so quick, you know, you get a lot of opportunities to see drops. And of course there are lots and lots of boxes here, and we're gonna open, you know, some of them. I need a key. That's the worst thing anybody could hear. Immune to fire, immune to lightning. Oh, so it starts. I mean, not that I care about either of those. But man, no, ogres would be cool models. Do they have an Iron Blaster model? Those... Because just like, oh man, that's good stuff. But my friend collects orcs in 40k, but I think fantasy orcs are just unbearably cool. Like the boar riders, like wolf chariots, the giant spiders. Like I think the greenskins in fantasy are just amazing. And do they even have Norska? And like Tomb Kings? Oh my god, Tomb Kings models are so cool. But they're, because I don't have a subscription to White Dwarf, but I buy one at the game store every now and then, you know, whenever I stop in. Because often I'll just, you know, be there to see if they have, you know, Final Fantasy VI. But, oh, no, what? Oh my god. Wow. That is so sketchy. Dude, if I die to that, I will lose my mind. No, my controller's fine. Just the, you know, the fitting or whatever. I guess we could have tried to find our way back to town, but yeah, wow, that would... Oh, man. Yeah, you would, you'd see me freak out pretty bad. Because the thing about a machine not working is I have no emotional tolerance for a machine not doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Like, it's not like a bird where maybe it's got different priorities. It's a machine. It only has a job. Like, even just thinking about it happening makes me mad. I can imagine stuff pretty hard sometimes. Sometimes I'll imagine something bad or good vividly enough where I basically just act like it happened, like a character on a TV show that's like, you did something to me in a dream, you need to apologize. Only I'll be like, I should really have this conversation, and then I'll sort of like think about how it will go, and I'll rehearse the ways that I might like express myself about it, and then afterward I'm like, you know, that was good enough. I feel fulfilled. I don't guess I need to talk to anyone about it. Oh, right. Cathay. You know, maybe that's who I would have to play. Because they do exist, and they are the absolute coolest and the best looking. Yeah, I think maybe I should just start collecting some Cathay models. Because they have all the coolest stuff. They've got the Oxtron artillery. Is it as cool as, like, an Iron Blaster? No. But I could get, like, an Iron Blaster for the collection and be like, this ogre, you know, hangs out with Cathay. He's on loan. He's my representative, you know. He just eats cows, you know. Don't worry about him. Beastmen are super awesome models, too. I would love to have, like, a bunch of Minotaurs and stuff. I think that's the heartbreaking thing about, like, Warhammer miniatures, is they're all so awesome and expensive. No, some armies, like, even though I've seen, like, amazing paint jobs and stuff, and they're definitely out there for everything. There's some stuff that, like, I don't, like, think is cool, you know, for lack of a better word, compared to other stuff that I do think is cool. You know, so while Eldar conceptually are a fun faction, like, their models don't just, like, blow my mind. And Dark Eldar are kind of the same. And, like, Chaos Undivided and really Khorne, but then when you get, like, I mean, Nurgle Chaos, now we're talking, like, that's so cool. Or, like, the Imperial Guard. Fine, great, I have Guard, but, like, every special kind of Guard that used to be hard to get and hopefully is easier now, but, you know, every special kind of Guard is, like, so awesome. But, you know, it's not the accessible kind. The accessible kind are Cadian analogs, which are fine if you're into Cadians. I've got a bunch of them myself. But, you know, if we'd been able to get, like, Vestroyans or something, like, that's absolutely where I'd be. Tellar Desert Raiders are so cool. And then, like, oh man, like the Praetorians, I wouldn't get them myself, but they're cool too. And Krieg, which is way more supported than all the other, like, minor ones are, besides, like, maybe, like, Catachans. I mean, Krieg's super cool. Like, they're very cool. We've already identified it and not just haven't we? Yeah. But I would... I don't know. They're kind of mainstream, right? You know? I would want a more obscure one. But especially because, like... Because my principal army is Space Wolves, I would want, like, one with, like, the colder weather-looking theme, you know? What could be better? But, you know, I got my Attilan Rough Rider models that I never put together, and I've got my Chaos Marauder Horsemen that I've just, like, said are Rough Riders for a long time. Pay no attention to the Chaos Star. People are always thinking that I'm, like, doing a bit to be funny. I'm like, no, I mean, it's all we had back then, you know. But I think, in general, like, the desert aesthetic, the jungle fighting aesthetic, the cold aesthetic, you know, like, all of those are much more interesting to me than, like, the Cadian thing. That's the thing, is a lot of guard guys that I've met personally are, like ex-military dudes, and, you know, maybe they play even, like, another wargaming thing that's more historical, right? So, like, they like the more grounded models for their thing, you know, and, which isn't universal. It's not every guard guy I've ever played against, you know, like, seems like they like the grounded realism, but definitely, like, it feels like a very sizable contingent of the guard players I know are guys that probably play humans in all the games they play. Which, again, there's nothing wrong with that. I just... Look, sometimes the human factions are very cool. Sometimes. Trench Crusade, yeah. I've never seen them in real life or, like, a game of it. But one of my buddies was showing me a couple of models, you know, like, pictures on the internet of the models. And I was like, these look very cool. One of these days I'm going to sit down to put together some models I have, and I will realize that my plastic glue has all dried up. No, I know, I already know this is true without checking. I just need to get some more. Because, and Neo, I'm sure you understand this, if I put some models together, then I can buy more. And that would be fun. There's nothing cooler than going into a store and knowing you're going to buy a model. But I've just basically got to the point where I really, really got to put one together out of the pile. Or paint something, even. Surely not all my paint has frozen over. Yeah, like, what? We wouldn't want our guys on the shelf to be, like, by their lonesome forever. But there's this Warhammer store I like going to. It's not, like, in my town. It's not far away though. But it's sort of like on my way to do an errand every now and then. But it's pretty close to, like, this awesome kind of, like, retro arcade thing where you just pay, like, $10 and then you can stay there as long as you like and, you know, play whatever games they have. But it's just too loud in there. Not in the Warhammer store. In the arcade thing. I'm like, can't I just turn the sound down some? Not for like, not if there's other people around, you know, let them have whatever. But you know, like when I'm by myself playing Crazy Taxi, can we just have a little less? I love Crazy Taxi. That's what I do the majority of my time there. Although I try to mix it up a little bit and play other things occasionally. I just come right back to it, waiting for the sweet, sweet strains of the offspring to sing one of the best songs in any video game ever, All I Want. You know, it's the one that goes, yeah, 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 yeah. I could totally sing it louder and more aggressively, but I didn't feel like taking the headphone off. One mustn't sing punk songs without hearing what they sound like. You want to make sure they sound bad. If they're starting to sound too good, you gotta make it worse. Those are the rules. I don't make them. More levels in orb. And just bounce out. That's the thing, is the enemies in this game, the fools, are not prepared for, like, proper aggressive motion. It's not a whole lot they can do once you get a little bit of fast cast. So we're not even, like, at the frame max, and we're still just absolutely trucking on them. And this guy is one of the cold enchant fire enchanted guys, so he's just very hardy. We're just going to back away a little bit. The Hydras, you know, they won't cast new ones while the old ones are up type of thing. So when they get a whole lot of them down, it's good just to leave there, even though he's very resistant. If you just get to the right distance and you can get the orb to open up right in the center of them, this guy is really hauling. Oh, extra fast, of course. One of Ismail's dudes. Like, all of this is trash. And we don't have all the pieces yet. This Grand Charm has got to be another fast hit recovery one, because we are at 70, and that's a fine break point to be at, I think. Yeah, because we could take the small one to get up there. Yeah, but anyway, so now that Trav's cleared, we're going to go back. I consciously did it when I did it. I was like, we'll just do it this way. And I'm right, you know, it was awesome. Because, like, maybe we'll just run Trav again. Nah, no point, really. Not when Mephisto is ahead. The Mephi kill is going to take ages, of course. We're not really set up for him yet. Because the distance for orb isn't good. And, you know, we don't have blizzard points at all, and Meteor's still weak because we've been pushing every point to orb for the last 20 levels. You have a week off of university soon? Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'm sorry to hear that things have been rough, but I'm glad you're going to get a little bit of time off. It'll be the beginning of my work week tomorrow, of course. The way of the cook is to work while other people don't. After all, how could they come to the restaurant while they're at work? No, some people still do. That is why I work in the middle of the day too. But I didn't stream as much as I maybe would have wanted to today. Still plenty, you know. Got a good Diablo chunk in this morning, and then played more of that Islets game, which was a lot of fun. But I filled out some forms, so I had to like take a nap about it. Because I just hate filling out forms, man. But for YouTube things, I finally bit the bullet and tried to work on some of that stuff again to get all official. And they were like, cool, wait a little while and then we'll tell you something else. And I'm like, I swear if there are more forms at the end of this rainbow, I'll fill them out eventually. Alright, so, wow. So what we see here are dolls, and dolls are the worst mobs in the game. Dolls explode when you kill them. So far, so good, right? Well, what if you kill, like, 5 of them? Well, they all blow up on you. What if you kill, like, 20 of them? Well, now you're dead. What if your normal way of moving through the world involves throwing frozen orbs everywhere? Well, don't do that. You see what I'm saying? Undead soul killers are run killers. And orb is... and they have low hit points, too. So orb is uniquely situated to just murder you yourself, the one casting the orbs. But that's why, you know, you just got to be judicious anytime you're at a place that could have them, or especially if it definitely does. You know, you want to make sure you're moving, that you're not being too aggressive, and that you're not orbing in places that haven't been scouted by you personally in a way where you can be sure what's going to happen after you do it. It's a little bit slower, but let me tell you that you will just die to these guys. It's very easy to have happen. So you know how I'm always like, don't learn from anything I do. Hopefully I'll continue to behave properly. They aren't at that many areas in the game, right? You get them down here probably, at least half of the time because they're on the mob roll, so probably about half of the time. And then you get them Endurance of Hate. Most of the time you'll see them, it feels like, but not every time. And then you'll see them again in the Worldstone Keep. So there's not a ton of places, but, you know, you just gotta act right when they're around. Because they're also very quick. They're not, like, things you can totally ignore. And you might be thinking, does not teleporting kind of blind count? No, it doesn't count, because we'd already been over there. And not knowing where you're going is fine if you know you can definitely go next to where you're going safely. Also, I didn't want to walk around. The deaths of many a sorceress have been caused by not wanting to walk around. Alright, where do we think it is? You know, I'm sure I don't know. Here? Maybe. You know, you say it's nice to talk to a friend. Yeah, thanks, man. You know, it is nice to talk to you as well. It's nice to, you know, sometimes people ask if I want to be more popular. I'm like, I mean, meh, it'd be cool, but it's nice to, you know, be able to read everything, and, you know, if somebody, you know, shows up and, you know, wants to talk, to be able to, you know, still play my game and read it, you know. Every now and then there'll be some stream with like a bunch of people by my standards, and it's kind of bewildering. Oh, no, 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 no. Alright, we're fine. It's fine. I just threw an orb into a thing of dolls all of a sudden, and I decided that I should panic. Which I should have done beforehand by not doing it. Huh. Whole bunch of life and some lightning resist. This is a legit belt. But you know, I've always loved, you know, hanging out with friends and talking about games as we play them and whatnot. So this is a really cool avenue for me to be able to pursue that and, you know, talk to people that I don't know, but, you know, it's cool for that reason too. It's a lot of, you know, I've talked to a lot of people that, you know, I never would have interacted with otherwise. And I hope I've inspired them with my deep strangeness. Orb at level 20. Of course, we got a couple more levels before it goes away. Alright, 2 mobs, no dolls. If we can just dodge dolls, then we'll do the floor regular. If there are dolls, then you're gonna see me act real impatient, probably. I hate knowing my personality and knowing there's nothing I can do about it. I'm like, so if the dangerous mobs are around, to account for me not wanting to deal with that fact, we'll just teleport real quick. Hey, but we get cadavers, and I think it's just a 3-mob floor. You know, Urdars are big and scary, but what they don't do is explode when you kill them. Now, are you supposed to behave like you're seeing me behave now? You're not. Don't do this. I'm only doing this because I'm very confident. You might note that I didn't get hit by anything. Don't do this. Don't behave the way that you just saw me behave when you're playing hardcore. You're gonna see me do more stuff like that. Don't do any of it. It's dumb. I just can't help it. When you get the feeling that you can do it, and you're like a sorceress at heart like I am, you just go for it. That's how it goes. It's the only thing you can do. but it's about knowing the mobs too, because if there are dolls, then I don't want to do it like that. We'll just go super aggressive. Extra fast Urdwars. Dire Thirst the Dark. A very metal guy. More cadavers. Did we dodge dolls here? Looks like it. Excellent. Fanat, pretty annoying. We're gonna go to town real quick and try to save the dude from the poison. And we did. Our feet are on fire. They're on fire. We're just gonna need to strop and drop, set them down, open up shop, and I mean roll. That's the next one. And again, don't do that. What you just saw me do super safely without taking a hit, don't do it. Walk through the door, be calm, be slow with life. Look, it's just Nightmare, right? What are you gonna do? You're probably gonna see me do it on Hell too. Look, I can't just go through life and be someone I'm not. I'm a sorceress, and sorceresses teleport. There's Duran's 3. We still want to get... the waypoint, which should be like right down here, I imagine. Only too many choices for it. Where is it? Down here, really? This is a crazy Durance map. Like, just wild. And, like, miserably huge, too. Like, that's so rough. I mean, it's fine with Telly, right? But, like, that is... the walk you would have to do from that waypoint is miserable. And also, like, that's not what I would call, like, a typical map at all. I would not find it quickly if I was doing it. got our setup, we'll be able to Meteor Mephisto down. Alright, where's everybody at? Nobody's home? So with our guy there, he's getting, like, the charge attack onto him. But when he falls down, I'm like, where's Mephi? There we go. It's like, I've done the, you know, I've killed Mephisto here a lot before. So you just, you know, it takes a while. We could just go static him down, actually. Yeah, you know, this is going to take forever. Alright, now that he's more static down. It's still gonna take like a year, right? You know, maybe we should just fight him for real. Can't believe I'm saying this. Yeah, see, that was miserable. Why would we do that ever? I mean, it went well. It just feels so wrong to engage him on his own terms, right? Gore feet are like okay boots, right? They've got mono-leech on them, and you know, at level 9, you know, I keep on talking about making a barb. Maybe we will. Maybe that's what we'll do next and see how it goes. It's already midnight 30. Well, that sort of means that I should go to bed, huh? I mean, it does some. Guess we're gonna keep on dodging the Venom Lords. It's funny how when you've got like some pretty decent gear, even a decently messed up situation is totally fine. Because if you walk fast and you have plenty of mana and 700 HP, it's only Nightmare, right? So our Necro was walking out of hell with just 300 more HP than this, and of course that might be where the Sorc ends up too. Burning Souls here, of course they're more dangerous than your average guys. Now Izzy's really lightning resistant, but if you just have your points into cold resistant Nightmare, it's still like enough to get a bunch of damage on him. He never gets immune because he's a boss, you know, and they don't make the bosses immune, just very resistant. But what we're doing here, you just get the burst of the orb to pop right in the middle of them, and then that final burst, you know, of several orbs will, or bolts from the orb will all hit him. And that's how to do single target damage with the orb. You know, you want to sit him still, but you can do big damage with it still. And all of those are kind of garbage. That was a lot of bolts, so we're just trying to get away from it, right? Separate them out. Here amongst the pillars is slightly safer because they will eat up the bolts, right? When you see multiple packs, because you can get stun locked by lightning pretty easy, you just want to back out a bit. Yikes. Should probably swap our belts around to get full rejuves on there. It's almost certainly time, right? Extra fast pack there. Just drink the potions off the expectation of future damage. That's the kind of thing you want to do. Oh, and multi-shot too. Yeah, it's nasty. Well, that was fun. Champs here. Gotta pick up the super potions because you can't buy them yet. And greater is like not enough to fill up an HP bar, right? Alright, I really should leave. This is like a traditional stopping point. And then in the morning, we can fight Diablo. Unless I decide to play something else. And yet I notice that I'm not turning it off. I mean, we could get the River of Flame waypoint first, I guess. Just one more turn. Got conviction stuck on us. It's not too sketchy with what's around, though. Nice. A limb rune is a good drop here, and one we can actually use in a rune word or two, although I don't remember off the top of my head what they are once we put it into the old box. You know, there's bound to be something. We've got, you know, a Mal and an Ist. Plenty of stuff that has limb in it. Probably just about as high of a rune as it can drop in Nightmare. It's pretty amazing how quick you can get experience here. Seven lightning resist worth carrying. Sorcerer skills plus energy amulet. Theoretically we could wear it, but probably we'll just go for survivability forever. It's still a nice pull. Well, you know, we shouldn't really be fighting a boss like Diablo when we're tired. Or when we can't show, like, the energy that we want to. Because it's a little late, and I don't need to be waking up the house. Alright. Again, don't act like you see me act. I know what I'm doing a little bit, and even I shouldn't do it. Did we find that one recently? Maybe. All right, wonderful. You know, capping frozen orb. Ton of HP. Legitimately terrible gloves. But some nice pieces somewhere else that sort of add up to, you know, decent amounts. But yeah, we're gonna have to gonna have to find a place to get these resists. We're gonna have to identify where we're gonna sacrifice something. But there we have a limb. And a Mal, and an Ist, and a Co. We've got to be able to make something out of all this, right? That's just so many mid-runes. We have to be able to make something out of it. Yeah, I think Limb is the highest it can be. Because, like, Goal is, I think, the highest for a Hellforge. So, a very nice pull. Good as it gets. Can't complain. Once more, pushing through Act 3. Getting, what, like, 9 tidy levels in it. I mean, and in Act 4 too. We must have got 2 or 3 there. But anyway, that's all I've got for you right now. Time for me to go to bed. But we might play this in the morning, so perhaps I'll see you there. And if not, well, hope you have a good rest of your time. But good night, everybody. Good night, Neo. Enjoy your Friday, and maybe I will catch you later.